Hey guys, how you guys doing? Thanks for joining. For everyone that's online here with us. So I don't have any plans specifically today. We just have. I just came in line a little bit earlier just to advise anyone who has taken any position that I've recommended on the screen. So Fed Chair Mr. Powell is gonna speak in approximately 2 minutes, in less than 2 minutes, I would say. So I'm gonna advise everyone, if you have open position, please close them. Okay, close any open position. Close any open position. I repeat, close all open positions. Why? Because you never can tell what is gonna be the outcome of this young man's speech. If the outcome is good for US, it means that NAS is gonna drop until 120.62. If the outcome is terrible for NAS, it means that for USD, sorry, it means that Euro USD is gonna drop until 0.98879. Okay, so the deal I've got for you is to close out completely, or you can move your profits at least close up to 90% and let the rest run. If the news outcome is fantastic, yes, we all take advantage of it. Otherwise, we just know that we didn't lose anything. Okay, for this position, till now I've closed nothing. For me, I don't care if it is break even or not. Okay, but for you, I don't know whatever thing you've risked. If you've risked a lot of money, please close it now. We have less than 30 seconds for the man to start speaking. So let's see. You may not see the impact of this man's speech immediately. Just relax. You're going to see the impact. The impact of his speech comes the moment he mentions certain keywords. Perhaps he just started. Will be the moment he mentions certain keywords. You're going to see some volume in the market. So let's see. Euro USD is playing fine, playing nice boy. I love Euro USD for sure. NAS at this point in time is not reacting to anything, so I just closed about 40% of my profit. So that if it eventually drops, fine. If it doesn't drop and goes back to hit my stop loss, I'm good, I'm fine. There's no regrets. Let's see Euro USD. Nice. I love what I see, guys. Don't tell me you don't love what you see, guys. Imagine that our initial position, the same position we opened somewhere. I think it didn't get open. We didn't. I just set the sell stop, and then I started seeing this, so I closed it. So imagine that we have that sell stop. By now we would have made somewhere around 53 pips on Euro USD, which is actually difficult to come by on a very normal day. So making 53 pips a day on Euro USD is like, it's like a magic, you know what I mean? Strange. It's not every day that you get to see that, right? So let's see. I don't know what the outcome of Mr. Powell's speech is. But let's see what the outcome of his speech is. Powell, let's search. Powell. Okay, there is Mr. Powell speaking. There is a particular channel I'm actually looking for, but I don't know how to locate it. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it should be Wall Street Journal. Is it live? No, it's not live, man. It's not live. All these ones are just copycats. Just will not deal with first-hand information. Okay, let's see. Now I don't have volume. Oh, this will begin shortly. Oh, the guy is not speaking yet. That's strange, man. That's quite strange.
Thank you, Peter, and good morning, everyone. Esther, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak here today. At past Jackson Hole conferences, I have discussed broad topics, such as the ever-changing structure of the economy and the challenges of conducting.
You can actually see what's
monetary
happening on
policy
NAS.
with high uncertainty.
So if I hadn't closed
Today,
now,
my
perhaps
remarks
by
will be
now
shorter,
we'll be regretting
my focus
something.
narrower,
Let's
and
see,
my
let's
message
see.
more direct.
Your USD is quite tripping.
The Federal Open Market
I love
Committee's
your
overarching
oh
focus
my
right now
God, your
is to bring
USD is
inflation
falling.
back down to our 2% goal. Price stability is the responsibility of the Federal Reserve and serves as the bedrock of our economy. Without price stability, the economy does not work for anyone. In particular, without price stability, we will not achieve a sustained period of strong labor market conditions that benefit all. The burdens of high inflation fall heaviest on those who are least able to bear them. Restoring price stability will take some time and requires using our tools forcefully to bring demand and supply into better balance. Reducing inflation is likely to require a sustained period of below-trend growth. Moreover, there will very likely be some softening of labor market conditions. While higher interest rates, slower growth, and softer labor market conditions will bring down inflation, they will also bring some pain to households and businesses. These are the unfortunate costs of reducing inflation. But a failure to restore price stability would mean far greater pain. The U.S. economy is clearly slowing from the historically high growth rates of 2021, which reflected the reopening of the economy following the pandemic recession. While the latest economic data have been mixed, in my view, our economy continues to show strong underlying momentum. The labor market is particularly strong, but it is clearly out of balance, with demand for workers substantially exceeding the supply of available workers. Inflation is running well above 2%, and high inflation has continued to spread through the economy.
Now you're going to see price move.
While
You
the lower
mentioned
inflation
those are
readings
the
for
keywords
July are
people are
certainly
looking
welcome,
for.
a single
So
month's
expect some
improvement
movement
falls
in price
far
now.
short of what the committee will need
Some
to see
crazy
before we
move
are
actually.
confident that
Very
inflation
crazy
is
move.
moving down.
Strange move, I would say.
So, we are moving our policy stance purposefully to a level that will be sufficiently restrictive to return inflation to 2%. At our most recent meeting in July, the FOMC raised the target range for the federal funds rate to 2.25% to 2.5%, which is in the Summary of Economic Projections range of estimates of where the federal funds rate is projected to settle in the longer run. In current circumstances, with inflation running far above 2% and the labor market extremely tight, estimates of longer run neutral are not a place to pause or stop. July's increase in the target range was the second 75 basis point increase in as many meetings, and I said then that another unusually large increase could be appropriate at our next meeting. We are now about halfway through the intermeeting period. Our decision at the September meeting will depend on the totality of the incoming data and the evolving outlook. At some point, as the stance of monetary policy tightens further, it likely will become appropriate to slow the pace of increases. Restoring price stability will likely require maintaining a restrictive policy stance for some time. The historical record cautions strongly against prematurely loosening policy. Committee participants' most recent individual projections from the June SEP showed the median federal funds rate running slightly below 4% through the end of 2023. Participants will update their projections at the September meeting. Our monetary policy deliberations and decisions build on what we've learned about inflation dynamics, both from the high and volatile inflation of the 1970s and 1980s, and from the low and stable inflation of the last quarter century. And in particular, we're drawing on three important lessons that I'll highlight. The first lesson is that central banks can and should take responsibility for delivering low and stable inflation. It may seem strange now that central bankers and others once needed convincing on these two fronts. But as former Chairman Ben Bernanke has shown, both propositions were widely questioned during the Great Inflation period. Today, we regard these questions as settled. Our responsibility to deliver price stability is unconditional. It is true that the current high inflation is a global phenomenon, and that many economies around the world face inflation as high or higher than seen here in the United States. It's also true, in my view, that the current high inflation in the United States is the product of strong demand and constrained supply, and that the Fed's tools work principally on aggregate demand. None of this diminishes the Federal Reserve's responsibility to carry out our assigned task of achieving price stability. There is clearly a job to do in moderating demand to better align with supply. We are committed to doing that job. The second lesson is that the public's expectations about future inflation can play an important role in setting the path of inflation over time. Today, by many measures, longer-term inflation expectations appear to remain well anchored. That is broadly true of surveys of households, businesses and forecasters, and of market-based measures as well. But that is not grounds for complacency, with inflation having run well above our goal for some time. If the public expects that inflation will remain low and stable over time, then, absent major shocks, it likely will. Unfortunately, the same is true of expectations of high and volatile inflation. During the 1970s, as inflation climbed, the anticipation of high inflation became entrenched in the economic decision-making of businesses and households.
Guys, apologies, this is a wrong. Oh God. Because I was wondering, every single thing this guy is saying, I've heard it before. I was beginning to wonder what the hell is happening. Damn. This is wrong news, man. This is the wrong one. This happened on the 26th of August. I didn't see that on time. But it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I'll get to listen to the news later. What matters is that our price is moving in our direction, and that is all we care about right now, right? So while we wait for volume to come in, I don't know, man. I shouldn't have made this mistake. I'm bigger than this mistake technically. I don't know. Have something is wrong with me today. Okay, let's see. While we wait for volume to come in, I can quickly go over the analysis for everyone to be aligned. US30 looks pretty fine, looks very sexy. I love what I see. But then let's see what it's gonna do when volume comes in, guys. I would say US30 is gonna retest territory 466 because this is a trend line, right? So our price moving to this very strong support requires some sort of liquidity gathering, which it's supposed to gather somewhere around this level, right, before it pushes to break that support. So what's it gonna be for my US30 fans? What's it gonna be? We don't know. Okay. We don't know. We really don't know. All we need to do now is to relax and wait. I just adjusted my support level so that I don't become a scapegoat, right? A scapegoat of normal price movement, and then there is a scapegoat of smart money. I would call it smart money, even though my mentor says there's nothing like smart money, but then I still believe there's something, called smart money. I don't have to believe in anything he says anywhere, everything he says, right? So seeing Euro USD behaving like this, I'm just going to close up to 90%. Right, let me do that right away. Okay, so 90% closed. So let's see what everything is doing. We don't really care right now. Let's see how volume is gonna interact with price movement when it comes in. Very important level right there. Very important level. Okay. Does it. If it pulls back, it's not our thing. But if it breaks below in the next, when the volume comes in, that is at NAS100 open, then it makes sense, for price to continue moving down. And then for NAS, looking at daily, NAS my guy, my authentic original guy. Looking at daily time frame, you see that yesterday closed bullish and today we are bearish sort of. So it makes sense if price actually flips and continues going up, because normally we see this kind of bullshit behavior especially when you have volume, a day closing with such an amount of volume. How many pips did yesterday release in total? It moved to 286 pips and closed at 242 pips, so we expect a whole lot of correction before price reverses to keep going up. So for now, in 4 hours, we see it's pretty much very bearish. So what we are expecting to happen in 4 hours is actually for price to continue moving down until at least 120.64 or somewhere 120.000. Okay, so this is actually what I am anticipating for NAS today. But then if it does any other thing based on what we see here, because price has the tendency to flip. Okay, if it flips, making sense, no issues, no call outs. Okay, for 1 hour time frame, you can see since yesterday 23 GMT 23.3000 GMT, price has been consolidation. It has been in a range ranging between 123.13 and 122.36. so the previous 1 hour broke this range. So now I don't think this is a fake out. With all my experience, I don't think this is a fake out. That is why I actually had the mind to get into position for price to see 120.69, 120.63. Okay, that was my motivation. Actually, I was targeting the breakout to happen. At the moment it happened, it makes sense normally for price to continue moving down. Okay, so that is it about 1 hour. For 30 minutes looks pretty much very bearish, but then we have to take note of this area. What this means is that we are going to see the same thing happen here. Okay, it's going to be a mirror. Okay, and then one candle is going to push out and touch this level. What happens next, whether it's going to reverse and keep going now up, or it's going to just continue going down, I don't know. But what I know is that something like this is going to happen because of this is going to happen, and then after it happens, one candle is just going to push down to hit this level, hitting our TP. Okay, that is what I think is going to happen. Well, if it doesn't happen, don't trust me. EURUSD, see what I'm talking about? That's complete bullshit. That's complete bullshit right there. I missed the news, so I don't know what the young man said. So technically and automatically I've missed out. But one thing is for sure, guys. It is strange for you to get a V pattern just like that, fall and rise. It is very strange. This is not magic, right? So what I think is going to happen here is some sort of, if this is actually going to go up to retest this level, I would call this other block. If price is coming up to retest this other block, then there should be some sort of V pattern. Okay, so giving us a total of W. Okay, before it now comes down. I don't know. Let me not give you guys false hopes. Okay, let's just work with what's going to happen in the next 3 minutes, and specifically on NAS. US30 is not my thing. I just opened it today just to talk and waste time. All right, all right, all right. Let's see what's gonna happen next. In the next couple of minutes, we're gonna get volume, and when we get volume, really, I just want to switch to 1 minute. 1 minute gives me visibility of what actually is gonna happen when the volume comes in. Okay. Some people that know me, they will be like, "Oh, this guy normally trades 1 hour and 30 minutes. What happened? Suddenly he started trading 5 minutes and 1 minute." Well, people change. People change. Okay, that's one thing that is very much inevitable. Change. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. It has broken the low. In less than 1 minute, volume is gonna come in. No, sorry, in less than 2 minutes, volume is gonna come in. Let's see. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do, having in mind that this position is still open, I'm just gonna close this, okay, so that we can be able to get into a new position. Just gonna sort of close it from my screen so that we'll get good visibility when the opportunity comes. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself for a while. Just observe. If there's any position taken, we're gonna open it together. I'm gonna just tell everyone. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself now. Power speech and volume. Market open. You see the impact? It's driving price nuts. So guys, I've just closed out my sell positions. So because volume just came in, you don't know where this volume is gonna drive the price. So makes sense if I wait. Okay. There's anything that's good. If anything is happening, I'm just gonna let everyone know. Okay. Meet myself again. See you guys. Hey guys, I hope everyone is out of the market, because at this point in time I don't know what market is gonna do. Okay, I just hope everyone is out completely, and that is all I have to offer today. At least if you joined me earlier, you must have made a lot of profit with me today. Today total of what? Yeah, 98 pips, 91 pips total. That's what we harnessed today. Good luck everyone. I hope to see you guys tomorrow again. Thanks for joining me today. Take care everyone. Makes sense if we close out here. Okay, this is a good risk and reward ratio. You can see 6, we risk about 18 pips. I remember we risk 18 pips. Out of 18 pips we actually made what? Just this is awesome guys. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye everyone.